Hi there, welcome. Petty Officer 3rd Class Brandon Wyatt with Off the Grid News. Thanks for joining me today in this beautiful, wonderful day that we have today. The question that we get asked sometimes is not always, what are some great tips for outdoor activities, for things that we could be doing to prepare and to prep? But we also get questions on maintenance questions, and one commonly under-discussed area is outdoor activity and stretching before you get ready to do some serious physical activity. Today, that's the topic of our discussion, is to roll it back a little bit and talk about how to prevent injuries before you go outside and start doing some physical activity. Again, thank you for joining me today. The discussion that we're talking about today is stretching and keeping healthy in an outdoor environment. Right now, one of the biggest topics out there when it comes to exercise is eco-fitness. The idea is simply using what you have to be able to maintain your level of fitness in whatever you're doing to prevent injuries. Simple stretching. And I'm going to show you a couple simple stretches today that are going to make sure that your muscles get warmed up, prevent injury, and more importantly, help you gain cumulative health over a period of time. So what's really important when you're thinking about stretching exercises is to specifically think about the task that you're about to get started doing. Now today, when you first started and you clicked on this video, you saw me crouching down here getting ready to deweed a garden. So obvious things are going to be doing simple leg stretches. Anything that a squat or a bend, it's going to be important that I stretch those areas out, and I spend more time stretching those areas out, especially if I've had an injury. And I do have an injury, and I've had an injury for years, so it's important for me to make sure that when I design my workout, that I'm actually doing something that's, number one, safe for me to do, but number two, that it aligns with whatever I'm trying to accomplish that day. It's really, truly the easiest way to exercise. We try to make everything fit with what we're trying to get accomplished that day. It's the true sense of cramming 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag, and that's what I like to do, and I hope that you will gain that knowledge as well. So for the first exercise, knowing today that I'm going to be doing some de-weeding, I know that a lateral neck exercise is a really important thing for me. It's a trouble spot for me. It's an area that I've had problems with in the past, and knowing that I'm going to be down de-weeding with my neck in this position, looking for weeds to tear out, I want to make sure that I start with that lateral neck stretch first. And it's really simple. You find a position, you put your feet about shoulder width apart. I always put my arms down to the side like this, and then it's a really long, nice, slow stretch to the left, followed by the exact same thing on the right-hand side too. The other way to do this as well is a forward stretch and hold it, and a back stretch as well. A nice slow rotation is what you would like to do as well. That's the first exercise. So for my next exercise, again, it's aligning with what my goal is today, and that is simply to get down here in a comfortable position, be completely warmed up for de-weeding my garden. Again, knowing that there are different levels of physical fitness, and that stretching is an exercise that is a cumulative exercise that over a period of time you can gain an amount of flexibility that you didn't have at day one. So what I want you to do when you do this next one, this is a leftover right stretch. It's a hamstring stretch, which is really going to warm up those hamstrings. If you watch my legs right now, this is going to be the best way to do this. I'm taking my left leg, simply crossing it over my right leg. The most important part of this function is that you do not want to bounce into this. That can create a lot of uncomfortable feeling later on. It's a really simple stretch to that toe as far down as you can go, and you want to hold it. The ideal situation would be that you would hold that stretch for 15 seconds, counting nice and slow, followed by a crossover right over left. You start with the left over right, then right over left for another 15 seconds. I like to repeat that cycle 3 times on each side, so I know that I've got a really, really good stretch. You should be feeling a stretching sensation in your lower back as well, but not a pulling sensation. That's an important differentiator. That's our second exercise. All right, so for our third one, this is one that I learned in the military. It's called Sun Gods. It's my time spent with the Marine Corps as a Marine Corps medic. We really focused a lot on obviously using upper body strength. That's going to be an important piece of whatever you're going to be doing, more than likely outside. Sun Gods are one of the most simple forms of exercises, and I truly use the word exercise because it is a stretch, but it is an exercise as well. You hold your hands out in front, shoulder width apart, and what I always do is count these down. I'll do them in sequences of 10, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I will reverse that same motion, again, working your upper body the entire time. I like to do a cycle of 20 of these, and I'll do 20 5 times in a row. So a total of 100 will warm up your upper body and get you loosened up, ready to move any material or do anything that you're ready to do. Those are the 3 main bullet points that I've highlighted today for my specific task that I'm trying to do. The highlight and major bullet point here is modification. This is your exercise, and this is whatever you're doing outside. You want to make sure that you're able to modify your exercises, but make sure that you take the time to stretch. For Off the Grid News, I'm Petty Officer 3rd Class Brandon Wyatt. Thank you for joining us today.